What light novels have I been reading as of late? Let's find out.
That man and his manga.
Hi guys, it's been a while. This is That Man, that is my merchandise, and today I'm going to talk about some of the light novels that I have been reading as of late. Because, yeah, I haven't really updated you guys in quite some time. So first up, I want to know from you guys, what have you been reading? And as we go on, let me know what you think of some of the series that I have been checking out. Let's go on with it, shall we? The first one is one that I have been talking about a lot because it is one that I have binged 15 volumes of as of late, and I'm currently reading this one at the moment. This is Infinite Dendrogram volume 16, and honestly Infinite Dendrogram is it's definitely in my top 10 now. I'm not gonna lie, it was one that I don't even think even ranked in my top 50 previously, or maybe it was quite low, but yeah, it is definitely in my top 10 because wow, this series just keeps building and building and building a huge world. Think One Piece, think if characters like Bellamy or Django or whoever kind of got their own side stories and their own fleshed out little motivations and encounters. It is a huge story, and honestly I am really appreciating it. It is really competent in what it does. It's got a lot of intriguing and interesting characters, and the world building is top notch. Again, I keep saying it every time I mention this one because I really want you guys to check it out. Check it out. Don't let the anime see it, because the anime, quite frankly, was not very good. But really, honestly, I'm starting with it because I talk about it a lot. I'm in my top 10 videos, I'm also talking about it. So yeah, Infinite Dendrogram, love it. Really enjoying volume 16 as I'm reading it. Another one that I have talked about quite a bit, and I do see it is quite an underrated title, and this one actually is in my top 5 now, and it was just a little bit out, and yeah, I caught up with the series. It is easily in my top 5, maybe even top 3. It's going to be very hard to beat Konosuba or Overlord just for general nostalgia, but this one is another fantastic one, Ascendance of a Bookworm. Now, I have just started part 4 volume 1. I read this one about a month ago, and honestly it is such a good series. The world building again is absolutely top notch. It does do a lot of things, and I like the layered aspect of it. So part 1 is the main character is a sickly child who is born to a poor family. So the world building kind of centralizes around this poor family. They don't really see the nobles, they're mentioned, but then volume 2 ends up she works as a shrine maiden, and then we get a little bit more world building, and I just like the way it's kind of done, in that every part of this little circle of things just gets bigger and bigger. Now it's also about creating books. It's got a goal in mind. The main character really loves books, she absolutely adores them, and her goal is to get all of the books in the world and become a library. And she's basically inventing the printing press, she's inventing literacy, she is doing all of these things just to make money and get her goal. It's a really fantastic one. It's not going to be usual fighting monsters, usual blah 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 kind of thing. It is just a fun, really good world building series. Go check it out. The next one is one that's not going to be on most people's list because it isn't ecchi, and it is the one that I've just recently read, and you know what, whenever I read this one I'm always reminded of how good it is. That is Monster Girl Doctor. Now this is one that, yeah, not everybody's going to enjoy, it's not going to be for everybody's cup of tea, but it is really good at what it does. It's got really good ecchi series. It's got a lot of thought put into it for being an ecchi series. There's a lot of world building. Again, we have all of these monster girls. It's explained where they are. It explains what their species is like. It explains the kind of anatomy and the biology, because of course it has to have all of these doctor kind of scenes. And yeah, again, it's another one that's really fun. Like I said, it's not going to be for everybody, but you know, if you want a decent world building series, a decent character driven series with a lot of ecchi and stuff like that, you're going to have a fun time with this one, because yeah, it is a really fun one for that kind of person. The next one is probably the one that I feel like everybody tells me to talk about, other than Mushoku Tensei, which I will get to once I'm caught up with everything else. And this is one that I did try a few years ago, and I have started rereading after buying a lot of the volumes, and that is Classroom of the Elite. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this one is an interesting one for me, and I'm going to give my opinion on it. Volume 1, I really enjoyed it. I really liked the premise of the whole thing. It was really intriguing. I really liked the whole idea, and some of the characters rather interested me. Volume 2 is probably one of the worst light novels I have ever read. I'm not gonna lie, I reread it and I still wanted to drop the entire series because of Volume 2. Volume 2 is a single little short idea that is dragged out to 400 pages. It is pretty boring. It introduces a lot of characters, but quite frankly, a lot of the characters aren't that interesting. Fortunately, I came back after a few years, reread Volume 1 and 2. Volume 2 I still didn't like. Volume 1 I still really liked. Volume 3 was fantastic. Volume 3 really introduces a lot of the side characters, the other class members, and it's got an interesting premise of being on this, not shipwrecked on an island, but on this abandoned island to try and survive as a team if they want to. And yeah, I really like that. Volume 4 I wasn't too fussed about. Again, it kind of felt that it was a shorter volume that was padded out. And yeah, and then I read Volume 4.5, which honestly, I liked the first 2 chapters. Then after that, I kind of got a little bit bored. And once again, I'm kind of at a point where I don't really want to read anymore. I've got volumes 5 to 7.5, so I'm going to end up persevering. But people said Volume 4 was kind of the bit where, oh, that's where they fell in love with the series and stuff like that. And I was just kind of like, yeah, it was alright. But let me know in the comments what it is you actually like about Classroom of the Elite, because I keep people saying it's the top tier, it's one of the best ones, but I don't see people saying why they like it. So I kind of want to know why they like it. The next one is the hidden dungeon that only I can enter. And you know what? I paid next to nothing for these. I got these for about £5 each. So yeah, I got volumes 1 to 5 of this, and yeah, it's a stupid series. I'm not going to lie, it is stupid. This is about a young man who gets the ability to go into this hidden dungeon, and he gets some overpowered skills. One including editor, which allows him to edit skills of himself and other people, and one that allows him to bestow skills onto other people. Those, however, cost life points. That's right. But the only way to get life points back is if he fools around with the various girls in here. And yeah, that's the kind of whole thing with it. It is a consent and ecchi series, and it's a lot of stupidity, but it's a lot of fun. And you know what? I can't dislike this series for that. I'm not gonna lie, it's not probably going to be in my top 50, but I did enjoy my time with it, which I can see a lot more than some other series that I have kind of persevered through over the years. It is a really fun series. It's stupid, it knows it's stupid, it doesn't really try to be anything special. However, you do get a lot of interesting and well thought out battles in here using the whole edit and bestow skills that he has. So, you know what, there's a few gems in here that kind of makes it all worthwhile. The next one is ReZero. Now, I read volume 16 and volume 17 of ReZero about a month or 2 ago because they were sat on my shelf for quite some time, and yeah, I'm not sure what it is with ReZero. I really adore ReZero. I really adored season 1 of the anime. I never got around to actually watching season 2, but then I really enjoyed the season 2 arc in the light novels. I started this, and volume 16 I enjoyed, and then volume 17 I also kind of enjoyed, but then I bought volume 18 and I was just kind of like, oh, I can't be bothered to even read you. I think I'm gonna get to the end of this arc and then I might just drop the series. I'm not sure. I'm going to see how this arc kind of works out, because this is another one like Infinite Dendrogram that I kind of don't think is ever going to end. I think the light novel's on like 30 to 32 volumes at the moment in Japan, and I think we're on volume 20, I think might be out this month. So yeah, it's a shame. I really like this series, but I also really don't want to read this series, which is a weird kind of feeling to be in. So I mean, this is one of the first volumes I got in terms of buying light novels. Volume 1 was one of the first or the third or something like that. I think it was like the one that got me into really reading light novels, and it's a huge shame for me to kind of just not want to read the series. And it's not anything bad or anything like that. It's just I just genuinely just can't be bothered to read it. I don't know what it is that's putting me off. It's good when I'm reading it, but I don't know. I think I'm kind of going to go by arc. I mean, I'm going to try and get the rest of this particular arc and then just binge the rest, and then after that I'll decide if I want to buy any more. I might just end up selling it and buying the rest digitally or something like that. But yeah, it's a weird position to be in. Yeah. Next up we have Bofuri, and again this is another one. This is just a lot of fun. This is an MMO kind of one where the character just becomes overpowered, but she has a really good time. Now, I kind of said I'm not really a fan of overpowered characters, like for example Classroom of the Elite. I don't like the overpowered main character, but I really like the overpowered main character in this and for example Overlord. And I just feel like I don't know, I feel like if a character is overpowered, and for example this is written that she's overpowered and everything's going to get curb stomped, but it's a lot of fun. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with a series that is fun. But yeah, weird. But yeah, Bofuri is a lot of fun. It's about an overpowered character who becomes overpowered just because she's having fun and manages to break the game in ways that people did not expect, and things just escalate from there. Again, you're not going to get anything, you're not going to get like a serious story, you're not going to get anything like that's mind-blowing, like, oh, huge revelation, like you are going to get an infinite Dendrogram. It's not like huge and world-building, but it is stupid fun, and each and every volume of this has been an absolute joy to read. This again, much like Infinite Dendrogram and Bookworm, are all three of them are now in my top 10 because these are ones that I'm really enjoying reading, and that's the most important part. If you're not enjoying a series, is it worth even reading? Let me know in the comments. So that's it from me. Thanks for coming in. If you did get to the end, you're special. Like I said, let me know in the comments what you are reading at the moment, and if you've got any recommendations from yourself for me to read, and let me know what you think, what it is you actually like about Classroom of the Elite. Try not to be too spoilerific, and I will see you next time for the next video.